Satan himself throws up the devil horns to ward off any trunk.
God, that makes me nuts.
This is Trunk Nation. Proceed at your own risk. SiriusXM Faction Talk.
It's like being in a fish tank here.
Yeah. You got some fish looking at you too.
No, we're the fish.
We're the fish.
Yeah, we're
people
like
are
in
looking
a
outside
seaquarium.
the glass. Yeah, we always have some people that come by and watch when we're doing our show live from the Wynn studio here in Vegas, and Mike Portnoy is the fish right now.
Hey, I'm a
He's
shark.
The fish with the blue beard. He's a special
Shark
blue
with
beard
a blue beard.
fish.
I'm an octopus.
Oh man, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been too long.
Well, I was just saying, last time I saw you was here when you played.
Yeah.
Because I came to the show at the Cosmo.
That was like February or March or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you played my request. You played As I Am.
Yep, just for you.
Mike texted me. You texted me during the intermission. You go, don't leave. Don't go anywhere. And he came out and played As I Am, which was awesome. So, yeah, that was great, man. And you've been out. Congratulations.
It hasn't stopped.
What a run.
It's been incredible.
You're
Really
all over the world.
We just finished a two-month like festival run in Europe, and it was just absolutely the best tour we've ever done. This whole year has been the best tour the band's ever done.
How does that work with Dream Theater doing a festival where you're probably getting an hour and one of your songs is 32 minutes? What do you do?
I tailored a set list for festivals specifically with the more known, accessible, shorter songs. You know, the hits. Not that we have hits,
right?
But
even Pull Me Under's 8 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, most of the festivals are 75, 90-minute sets, which, frankly, has been, it's been amazing because we're used to the 3-hour marathons, and at our ages, it's
you
starting.
Guys are getting old.
Oh yeah, I come off stage like after those evening witch shows, just limping, just like put me in a wheelchair. So yeah, doing the festivals and playing an hour and a half is it's been a breath of fresh air actually. But it's amazing. We played all of the ones over there in Europe, and we played a lot of our own shows in these really incredible like ancient amphitheaters. We played in Pompeii in Italy, where Pink Floyd filmed their live movie.
I saw that
50
you
years
did
ago.
something from Floyd, right?
We did Echoes, which is a 25-minute epic piece, and that's the centerpiece of the Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii movie from 50 years ago. So yeah, to play Echoes there at Pompeii was absolutely bucket list stuff.
Yeah. I mean, for Prague, that's like the Holy Grail, right?
Absolutely.
And they're reissuing that movie, I think.
Yeah, they did earlier this year.
Did you see it?
Yeah. It got me hyped for it. But yeah, to play some of these old ancient amphitheaters, though, they are absolutely incredible. But for the crew, it's hell. There's no backstage areas. There's no load-in areas or ramps like that. So, for us and for the fans, it's, glorious, memorable shows. But they're definitely not made for rock and metal, shows.
Lugging your drum kit alone, they must just look at you like,
exactly.
Son of a bitch.
Poor Jose carrying up a 100-piece drum kit up these old ancient ruined stairs and stuff. Yeah.
But are those like that setting in Pompeii? Do they do shows there on a regular basis, or you have to arrange that? Like it's a regular concert venue?
No, they do have shows there. Not many hard rock or metal bands. In fact, we're probably one of the few metal bands to have ever played there. But they have like, pop concerts and stuff like that, more mainstream stuff. But even that is very selective. I mean, it was a huge honor to play there. It was very prestigious.
There's those settings like Queens of the Stone Age just did that thing where they played in the catacombs in France with like bodies of skulls and stuff in the walls.
Yeah.
And they just
Pompeii is like that too. They have people that died in the volcanoes back, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and it's still there. But we also did the last show we just did was in France. We did a gig with Extreme, and it was another ancient amphitheater. If you look at our live album Once in a Lifetime, there's a guy's head, and that's the actual amphitheater that we played. But it was really an incredible run, and we did festivals with Maiden and Priest and Scorpions and Muse and Korn. I mean, played with everybody all summer long. It was just great.
So I was telling the audience, and we're going to let the audience call in here in a bit, and but a few things we need to talk about first. But I was telling the audience, obviously, beyond knowing you so well and being such good friends, I mean, you're more of a music nerd about other stuff than you are even your own band.
Yeah.
So we can talk about anything. So to that point, when you're out there doing these shows and on these festivals, who did you get time to see as far as other bands? Did you get to watch Maiden and some of these Scorpions or any of these guys, or were you kind of in and out?
Scorpions, believe it or not, we went on after the Scorpions. Priest and Scorpions played before us at Hellfest in France, and we kind of did the closing slot, like the after hours closing slot. So we got to catch a little bit of Priest and Scorpions, but Maiden, we played with them at Grass Pop, and we went on right before them, and we had to leave as soon as we were done to catch our flight. We were actually flying private the whole 2 months, which was amazing, having that. But in some cases, in order to play all these festivals, we needed to fly private, and we had 2 separate backlines that would hopscotch each other. So, because sometimes you'll be in Austria one night, then you're in, Finland the next night, then you're in, Romania the next night. You can't do that by buses, So in order to make them all, a lot of times we'd have to jet out immediately to get on the plane and be able to get to the next festival in time.
So you didn't see Maiden with the new drummer yet?
Didn't, no. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the set list. The first
great.
half of the set was, oh my God, what a set list.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if they announce U.S. dates. And Scorpions, Scorpions are going to be here, like literally where you're sitting next week with me. They're coming in next week to this studio because they start their 3rd residency here
Right.
a week from tomorrow. So they're going to do my show next Wednesday and start on Thursday. And they played a 60th anniversary concert in Hanover, Germany.
The day of the Sabbath show,
yeah,
right?
They got totally crushed on attention on that, though, because it lined up with the same day as Back to the Beginning. And, obviously when they announced that, they didn't know Back to the Beginning was going to happen. And their show was well attended, and the fans, their fans loved it there in Germany. But just from a standpoint of publicity, it completely got run over because it ended up being on the same day.
But they were in Germany. I'm sure it was, hugely.
Yeah, they played a stadium.
Success. Yeah.
And the opening acts were Priest and Alice Cooper.
Wow.
So it was a huge bill.
So I knocked all of them off of the Sabbath gig because I'm
Right.
sure Priest would have absolutely been there.
Right.
For
Halford
sure.
had said that in the
Yeah.
press. He said that he's killing him. He couldn't do the Ozzy thing, but they were already committed, as was Alice. So
Have you spoken about anything other than Ozzy and Sabbath for the past month?
yeah, I mean, we've covered, obviously, and we'll continue to talk about and cover it, but obviously Ozzy comes up every day in some way, just the news of yesterday they talked about what he died from, and there's always some news every day. But I don't know, I don't think I told you this. When he died, it was crazy because I've been here a little, I don't know how long I've been here in Vegas, about a week and a half. But when I left to come here, the day I left to come here from New Jersey was the day Ozzy died. And I always do this show 99% of the time live every day. But occasionally, on rare cases where I have travel or something and I have time to do it, I'll pre-record a show. And that day, I normally take the night flight so I can do the live show and fly at night. But my son was with me, and I wanted to take an earlier flight, so I pre-recorded that day. So I'm getting ready to we're literally getting in an Uber to go to the airport, and my phone goes nuts.
I bet.
Because Ozzy had died, and it was totally unexpected like that. So it was crazy trying to deal with that.
You have to sit on a plane and not even know what's going on. It must have been really frustrating.
And what I was not prepared for, not only trying to manage my own stuff, but I had a ton of news outlets, because, the mainstream media went all over that, and they were looking for people to talk to who are known in the rock world.
Right.
So I was getting hit up by every media outlet asking me to do interviews for them. They wanted to talk to me, and I just couldn't do any of it. I was on a plane for 6 hours. But then the next day, we had a ton of guests. And then Ozzy dies like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And then that was a whole nother thing.
Well, that was for me in Europe. I was when they did the Back to the Beginning show, we were in the middle of Italy somewhere. And it took me a few days to watch the whole thing because I grabbed the stream and it took days to watch it. So I was obsessed with that. It was like Sabbath, week, and then Ozzy passing. We were in Athens, Greece that day, and it's just been so surreal. I haven't clicked out of Ozzy mode for the past month. It's just so huge. I mean, massive loss.
Did you know him, or did you ever meet him?
I met him once. I did a show with him in Japan when I was with Avenged Sevenfold, and we were on the bullet train together. We were traveling together. and they had a car blocked off for just Ozzy and his band and us with Avenged. So I met him then, got a picture with him on the bullet train. You know, what better place to have a picture with Ozzy than on a crazy train?
Yeah.
But I didn't know him, but obviously, the impact has been huge. I mean, I don't know if I've felt a loss like this. This is as big as John Lennon or whatever. Obviously, in our world, in the metal world, you have losses like Dio or Lemmy or Eddie Van Halen, and those are massive. But this has been a whole other level of mainstream. I mean, because he transcends metal, he transcends rock, even he transcends music. I mean,
because he became a reality star.
He's a pop culture figure. So this has been a huge one. And I've been going through I was going through the whole Sabbath catalog after the concert, and then after he passed, I've been going back through the solo catalog, and it's just been a great musical trip to be revisiting all this stuff. It's amazing. What a career, but what a loss.
Yeah. No, and look, you can't knowing how compromised he was for so long, it's not entirely shocking that he died. But when you think about it, I said this on the air yesterday, because yesterday they revealed his death was a heart attack,
right,
which he figured it had to happen that quick, right? Because what people don't know, and nobody talks about, is the weekend after Back to the Beginning, a week later, he did a signing show in Birmingham, because Bello was there with Scott, and I was in London, and I was trying to get with those guys. And so he did a paid meet and greet signing the week before he died. He did do a public thing after Back to the Beginning. So everybody figured it had to be something sudden and unexpected. And yesterday they did confirm that it was a heart attack, which makes sense. But if you think about this, Mike, think about how, like, the rock gods or whatever you believe in aligned for him. Because if he goes out and has a heart attack 2 weeks after this concert, that heart attack, if you're that close to potential heart attack, it could have easily happened the day before the concert.
Absolutely.
It could have happened after the concert.
What a blessing that
he got through
that happened, that he got to say goodbye to the fans, do a final show, surrounded by every band that loves him and grew up with him and he influenced. And what a blessing to have done that. Now, I don't want to be like a conspiracy theorist, but I wonder if some of that contributed, because it had to have been so stressful. It had to have been so, exhausting. It had to have been, really, it probably took a lot out of him to go through rehearsals and everything like that. So I can only imagine, but thank God he got to do that show
and had that experience, and
to have that goodbye. I mean, he had
a living funeral.
He threw the greatest farewell concert of all time.
Yeah,
incredible.
I mean, Tony Iommi. The only interview that I know of that Tony did after the concert was here on this show.
Wow.
He called in the Monday after. It was insane, and that's on the app. People can hear it. And since then, those guys have talked about. And Tony was on before, and he was very candid about their concern for Ozzy doing this and now they've since come out and they said during the rehearsals, he looked very frail. They were worried, whatever. But he did fine during the concert. But I think about this, and look, I'm not a doctor, a conspiracy guy or anything either, but you got to think, if your heart is that about to go, the excitement on a stage, 2 sets, short sets, but 2 sets, you're waving your arms around, you're pumping your fists, you're trying to get up out of the chair. I mean, that, God forbid, he could have went out right on the chair. You think of Nick Menza, rest his soul, who died while playing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing the course of events and how they thankfully broke to his favor. It sucks we lost him, but he got it all in.
It was a gift for him and a gift for the fans and his loved ones, and what a way to say goodbye, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen these tribute concerts, like the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert, which was amazing, or the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. But this was a rare case where you had a tribute concert and he actually got to be there and attend it and
be part of it.
And so really, it was the ultimate farewell. Really incredible.
Hey, before we go down a million rabbit holes, which we will do and easily can do, I want to make sure that all your Dream Theater business is taken care of, because our mutual friend Kevin Chiaramonte already sent me some things. He wants to make sure that
He's
we
sending you
hit.
bullet points.
Yeah, he sent me bullet points. So
Oh,
I want to
God.
make sure we get this stuff in. So, okay, so first of all, obviously, as we've mentioned, since your return to the band, this whole thing, 40th anniversary, going around the world. I mean, I saw you play the show here in Vegas, as I mentioned, just unbelievable. I mean, I would think for you being back in this now feels like putting on an old shoe again, and it's just you're right back in the swing of it.
It's been incredible. I mean, like I said already, the biggest tour the band has ever done. We started at the O2 in London, which was incredibly emotional, and then we wrapped the U.S. tour at Radio City Music Hall, which was
I wasn't there to do the intro
yeah.
thing again.
We had Dora the Explorer did it for us this time. Yeah, that was. I mean, there's so many highlights. It's been incredible. We did all of Europe once with an evening with, then we did South America, we did North America, then we did this festival run, and now we're about to shift into finally doing a tour for the new album, because through all this we put out a new album in February,
Parasomnia, yeah,
and we haven't really had a chance to properly give attention to that yet because we've been so busy with the 40th anniversary thing. So we're about to shift into Parasomnia mode, and we have a North American tour kicking off next month, and we'll be all through the States in September and October with a completely different show. So if anybody saw us in the last round, this is a completely different set, completely different stage, and we're going to play the whole new album in its entirety, which will be a lot of fun, and finally give it its due.
In sequence?
Yeah, it was written to be performed that way. The whole album is very much like a concept album in that respect. So we've played a couple of the songs, this past year on the 40th anniversary tour, but now we could dig into it and give it, a full top to bottom presentation. And then we're going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of A Change of Seasons, which was like the first big epic the band put out 30 years ago. So we're going to play that as well. And yeah, and we still got a lot of gas left in the tank. We're going to go over to Asia right after the New Year, and then we have a third European run in next spring to do the Parasomnia over there. So it's been incredible. But it's the emotions at every show have the fans. You just look out there and you see grown men crying, and it's all smiles and tears and happy.
And I'll jump in here and let's be totally honest. And you're not going to say this, but I will. A lot of that is not only their love of the band, but the fact that you're back.
Oh, you.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is you coming back to this band, a band you co-founded, is a huge, huge deal. And I'm sure the other guys felt it, and I'm sure the fans feel it, and I'm sure you're feeling it from the reaction, the way they welcomed you back. And that's with no disrespect to Mangini or anybody. I mean, but honestly, obviously, it's a huge deal that you came back.
You know what? I'm so thankful that it's, come back full circle. It would have been really sad if we never did reunite. I've seen other bands like Pink Floyd with Roger Waters or Genesis with Peter Gabriel, certain bands that never do reunite. And as a fan, it's a shame. I would love to see those lineups together again before it all ends. So yeah, so for us to, be back together again and celebrating the 40th anniversary of the band and, riding off into the sunset together, it's poetic. It's the way it should be, really. And I'm so glad that we're here together again,
Yeah, and so are the many, many Dream Theater fans around the world. Clearly that is evident from the reaction. And the other thing that Kevin mentioned is something about comics, Z2 comic.
Oh, that's they are putting out a Parasomnia comic, and I think that's coming out in the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah, that'll be out in time to coincide with the tour.
Yeah, Kevin said nobody knows about that, but you guys can break that if you want. It's available for pre-order next week. And I'm not a big comic guy, but that's you're doing that.
To be honest, I'm not either. So I know it's going to be really cool for people that are into it. And but yeah, my knowledge in that department is pretty limited.
And I know you're here in Vegas right now because John Petrucci is doing a guitar camp, right? That starts when? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. This is his fifth one. He's done them all different locations. I think it's his first time doing it in Vegas. But I did the Winery Dogs camp a few times years ago. So it's the similar thing where it's kind of like you get a bunch of great players and they come together and they do instruction classes during the day and then performances at night. So yeah, John has been doing this for this is his 5th one, and great lineup. He's got Tosin from Animals as Leaders and Chris Broderick and Guthrie Govan, and I'm going to be playing with John in his solo trio with me and Dave LaRue, and yeah, it's going to be great.
So is it like an instructional thing? People come there and they get tutored, or
during the day? I mean,
watch.
It's filled with campers that are, in this case, mostly guitar players, I assume, and all day long there's master classes and people playing together and jamming, and at nights there's performances. Yeah, it's a great thing that a lot of musicians are doing these days, and especially in the case of John, and Dream Theater's music is so aimed at musos and guitar players and musicians that it's a great outlet for them to come together and learn from their heroes.
Yeah. That's cool. It's in an area here called Lake Las Vegas, which is about half an hour, 40 minutes or so off the Strip, but it's a beautiful area from what I'm told. I've not been out there yet, but that's happening starting, I guess, tomorrow. So
yeah,
maybe some folks in town for that, or maybe you're going out to that, something to check out. All right. So, and one other thing for me that I wanted to ask is, obviously the focus and commitment and everything you just laid out, Dream Theater's got a lot of other stuff coming up. But you mentioned the Winery Dogs and other bands that you have and other people that you play with. Is there going to be at some point room to revisit some of that, or is that not in your thoughts right now?
I hope so. I spent all those years creating these different bands and projects and making some great music with some amazing musicians and friends. And so, yeah, I hope that there's still, more to come. But obviously time will tell. Right now, I'm still in Dream Theater mode, and like I said, we're on the books at least through next spring, so it'll be a little while before I still have some extra time. But yeah, I mean, time will tell which ones will survive and which ones will move on and do more stuff in the future. But I surely hope so. I love a lot of those bands and projects that I was able to do through the years, so I hope so.
And the thing about that is all of those guys have other stuff too.
Right, exactly.
They're all doing other stuff. When you look at Sons of Apollo, they're all doing other stuff. Obviously, Richie's about to go out. Billy just wrapped up Mr. Big. I mean, and actually some of the side things that you've done over the years, some of the people in Dream Theater were a part of, right?
Right.
Jordan or John or whatever.
Well, I mean, for instance, playing with John and his solo band this week,
right.
That's a whole different thing. And playing with us is Dave LaRue, who plays with me in Flying Colors. And Steve Morse is going to be at the camp as well, who plays with me in Flying Colors. So we're still, we're all still playing with each other in different capacities. And then me, John, and Jordan had Liquid Tension Experiment. So yeah, we're all very incestuous,
Yeah. So there's a lot of, a lot of cross-pollination that might go on, I think. But obviously the focus, it sounds like definitely at least probably through 26 is going to be continuing the Dream Theater campaign and the record and the new record and all that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we started it in October, so it'll be about a year and a half when all's said and done by the time we wrap next year.
We're gonna let the callers call in and talk to you here. Final thing from me, since you've been back in the band and since this whole Dream Theater relaunch with you, is there one or two like total highlight moments, show, moment, concert, experience?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned a few of them already. Pompeii, doing Pink Floyd Echoes at Pompeii was incredible. The kickoff at the O2 in London, I mean, that very first night, to be such a massive show and to be filled with an arena filled with fans from all over the world, I mean, that was incredibly memorable. The Radio City Music Hall show sold out. We played The Best of Times, which the band was the only song in my Dream Theater catalog that had never been played before. So we played that one as a one-off that night. I mean, those are some of the ones that come to mind, but each and every night has been, every time we play, whether it be Dallas or Chicago or Hamburg or wherever, this entire past year, every time we play any city for the first time, it's their first time seeing this lineup together in 15 years. So that has made it incredibly special each and every show,
One of the things John said to me too was when you were in the band, you always made the set list.
Yeah.
And then John was like, one of the things he was most excited about you coming back to the band was that he didn't have to do that anymore because he
I love it. I mean,
wanted to put that on you.
We're at the point now where actually, there's enough stuff in rotation. I think we have 40 different songs at this point that are in rotation. So I'm able to have fun again with switching the set list each night. And, the first time we went through everywhere on the 40th anniversary tour, we had a set that we wanted everybody to see. But now with the summer shows happening, it's getting rotated. And it's been a lot of fun.
How are you handling the stuff? Like, you are doing some stuff on records you didn't play on, right?
Yeah.
On average, a song or two a night? Or?
Yeah, exactly. A song or two a night. And for me, it's been fun. I actually enjoy it because it's new and fresh to me.
Right.
And I've made my whole career playing other drummers' parts, whether it be Twisted Sister or Avenged Sevenfold or whatever, so it's nothing unusual for me. I like it,
Speaking of Twisted, you better get ready to get that call. You see what Dee posted online?
I didn't know.
Well, I mean, I heard that they got a booking agent. You don't get a booking agent unless you're looking to do dates. But Dee posted, somebody saw something on Twitter, and Dee said, somebody said to Dee, like, next year's the 50th anniversary of Twisted Sister, or something like that. And he says, he just responded, he goes, yeah, you think maybe we should do something, ... So for people that don't know, the late, great AJ Pero, when he passed away, Mike Portnoy came in and played drums in the final shows
the
of
last 2 years, 2015 and 2016. Yeah, that was what an honor for me. Those guys are amazing, and I grew up with Twisted, as we're
New York,
almost the same age and
area.
same area. But yeah, I grew up on Long Island, sneaking into the clubs to see them because back in the early '80s, the drinking age was 18, and our IDs back then didn't have photos. They were just little pieces of paper.
Right.
So it was easy to have fake ID when you're 15 years old. So I was sneaking into the Long Island clubs to see them play at Speaks and in Island Park or whatever. I would go see Twisted. I'd go see Billy Sheehan playing with Tallis. Back in the early 80s, that was the Long Island club scene was huge. Zebra, all those bands, Good Rats.
All of bands. And me being in Jersey, it was all the same thing. That was the same
exactly.
circuit. They did Long Island and New Jersey. But I missed it all. Like, are you 60 yet?
No, 58.
Son of a bitch, you're 3 years younger than me.
But I was, going to those shows at the same time, and
I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm 61 on Friday. I'm like, how did you get in? Because even though I had the fake ID, but I always got pinched on it. It never worked for me, and they would always flag me, and I had a baby face. It was bad. I kept trying I would want to get into those shows, and not because I wanted to drink, just because I wanted to see the bands.
Yeah. So you never saw Twisted back then in the clubs? Oh, they were. It was like seeing Kiss, like an arena show in clubs. They were. It was just so larger than life. They were great, and I loved all that old stuff. And they used to do radio broadcasts back then, like WNEW or WPLJ or whatever. All these radio shows back then would do these broadcasts from the police at my father's place or whatever.
I remember that.
So I would have a collection of all these live Twisted recordings from back then too, all the club days. And one of the last shows I played with them was in Jersey. And we pulled out a couple of the early club songs with them, which was so much fun.
Yeah, they'll be back next year. Whether you're playing drums or not, I don't know, but somebody's going to be playing drums because they're going to do shows. I know they're going to. Mike's. You can't see the visual, but Mike is doing a sealed lips button on his lips. But D pushed. D was, lighting a little spark online.
Well, regardless of what happens, and as much as I would love to play with those guys, if I can. As we just mentioned, my schedule with Dream Theater is booked pretty much through next summer. So, regardless of whatever happens with them or any other band that I've played with, I just can't.
I think
not available.
Maybe they used Joe Franco. I think they used him at one point too.
Joe played with them after AJ left the band in the late 80s.
Yeah, but I thought he might have come back and done one show somewhere or something at some point too, possibly. I don't know when AJ couldn't.
Frankie Benelli played a show with them too before he passed.
I didn't know that.
A one-off. I think it might have been here in Vegas. It was a one-off or something, just a couple of songs, and he sat in and played with them.
He would have been great.
I mean, Twisted has been through, I think I was their 8th drummer, So yeah, I mean, they're like the Spinal Tap of.
Well, what people don't realize about Twisted Sister, and we'll get to your calls here, I promise you. Right.
AJ was the 6th.
But not only that, Dee's not the original lead singer.
Right.
The technical only original member of Twisted Sister is JJ.
Yeah.
JJ is the founder of the band, owns the name, started the band, and is the only original guy when you trace the history all the way back.
I believe if they're well, the last tour I did with them was 2016, and that was their 40th anniversary. So next year would make 50. But that's I think they mark it from when Dee and Eddie joined the band. That's so those three. I think 76 was when those three started playing together. So I think that's how they mark their anniversary.
I mark anniversaries the year the first record came out. Some of these guys, it's the year I bumped into you in high school or whatever. It's like,
different. Well, I mean, like with Dream Theater, we're celebrating our 40th, but that's when we formed the band. But it was, 4 years before our first album. So, and then Rush, when they did their 40th anniversary, they were marking it from when Neil joined the band, even though Geddy and Alex had been playing together since 68. So yeah, different. Like the one that baffles me is Scorpions. Like how do they
65? 1965.
But who was in the band at that point? It was
Rudy and probably
Klaus?
Rudy and Klaus.
Yeah.
So there is photos of them, but they were like in high school or something. It was like super early. Because there's this biopic that's coming out on them that I went to England and did a scene in. It starts back then for them. That's kind of the history. So we'll get more into that. Again, Scorpions will be here next Wednesday in studio. So we'll cover some of that with them then as well. All right, listen, here's what I got to do because we're gonna blink and be out of time because once Mike and I get going, we didn't even get into Kiss yet. But we'll take a break and then we'll come back and we'll go the rest of this hour and let you guys call in and talk to us and talk to Mike, of course. We got busy phones, so let me get a quick break in here, and right on the other side, we'll turn it over to you guys here on Trunk Nation, live from the SiriusXM studios at the Wynn Las Vegas. Trunk Nation, Eddie Trunk, hanging with my good buddy Mike Portnoy. You can talk to him next. Right after this break, we'll go to some calls.
This is Trunk Nation, where rock fans go to talk all things rock.
Get exposed to something that they normally don't listen to.
With host Eddie Trunk.
Bring your own beer. Gotta love that.
SiriusXM Fashion Talk.
All right, let's let you guys talk to Portnoy a little bit. Fire away here on Trunk Nation and see what we get into. We'll go the rest of the hour here and wrap it up for a Wednesday. Mike and I are going to see Lenny Kravitz tonight here in Vegas. We were just talking off the air about how much stuff there is always to do here. I'm excited to see Lenny. And my buddy Stoney saw him on the last residency. He said it was the show of the year for him.
Oh, wow.
He does a 2-hour show. He jams. There's no opening act. It's going to be great. So
2 hours.
That's one
Child's
Dream
play.
Theater song. Here's our good buddy Ray in Maryland starting us off. Hey, Ray.
Hey now, Eddie. Thanks, man. Hey, Mike. How you doing, brother?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I actually I bumped into you at Eddie's 40th party in Vegas. We had a quick exchange, but you were kind of running around with your head chopped off. It was a little before the show, but I got to say hi, and you said hi, and
what a great
I
night.
didn't get the picture. Yeah, it was an awesome night. And the cool thing is, I play guitar, but I respect top-tier musicians no matter what they do. And right after I had a quick exchange with you, I ran into Kenny Aronoff and chatted with him for a little while. And I'm thinking, I got to meet Kenny Aronoff and Mike Portnoy in the same night and see them both play. And this is amazing.
I just saw Kenny.
So that was really cool.
I saw Kenny a few weeks ago. We did a couple shows with. He's out with Satch Vai, and
Yeah.
it was great seeing him.
When you think about the musicians that were in that building that night,
Oh yeah,
just the drummers alone, Mike, Kenny, Glenn Sobel, Brent Fitz. I mean, all these guys. I mean, just it was insane. By the way, Mike has seen some of the footage. I just got an email back today. It's taken forever, but maybe there is still some traction to finally get that thing out properly. So it's far from a dead issue. It will happen.
I'm happy to just have a copy for my own archives. I mean,
we want to do it
getting
nice.
to play with Zeke. I got to play a couple songs with Geezer and a couple songs with Michael Anthony. I mean, it was an epic night.
You played with Geezer Butler.
Yeah.
The before Back to the Beginning, that was the last time Geezer played with anyone.
We did The Wizard and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
You, Brent Woods, And then The Wizard was Corey Taylor singing. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which started, was Jay Buchanan from Rival Sons singing. You playing? I watched that because they're the first 2 songs of the thing. I mean, that band is insane.
Yeah,
Geezer, Brent, and you playing Sabbath with those singers.
Yeah.
What an insane way to open that. I mean, it's surreal to me.
It was surreal to me. I was up there playing with Geezer.
and Michael Anthony, he always tells me it was surreal for him because he always wanted to play with Alice Cooper, and he got up and played with Alice that night.
No, everybody. It was just a great event.
Magic.
Yeah.
And by the way, for people that don't know, Mike was a part 10 years prior to that, a huge part of putting my 30th show together, which was in New York.
That was incredible too.
And that was Ace and Peter coming together for the first time.
Yeah.
Ray, did you want to say anything? I'm sorry, I gotta keep moving here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. One of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It was back, oh, God, I can't even remember the year. I think around, it was in the early 2000s, mid-2000s. I got to see Fates Warning, Queensryche, and you guys, man.
Yeah.
And it just, what a lineup. What a lineup. It was so
2003.
good. And I know you got... Yeah, and I know you got this little Dream Theater thing going on, and I do love Parasomnia. I love the darkness of it. But if you could carve out some time at some point, I really hope I get a little more from the Winery Dogs, because Richie Compson, you and Sheehan, just friggin' amazing, man. But
Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie, and nice talking to you, Mike.
Thanks,
You're a
man.
legend, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, that tour with Queensryche and Fates Warning was fun. We would do the encore together. I don't know. Did you catch any of those shows? We us and Queensryche would play together for the encore every night, and we would do one Dream Theater song together, one Queensryche song together, and then one cover together. So
that was Tate was still in then, right? And Scott Rockenfield.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't, for whatever reason, I don't know if I saw one of those or not. I would
did,
know if I did.
PNC in Jersey and Jones Beach.
Yeah, I remember when you were doing them. I just don't know why I wouldn't have been there.
It was a great tour.
Here's Angelo in New Jersey. Go ahead, Ange.
Hey, good afternoon, Ed. Thank you for taking my call, especially today. Mike, it is an absolute honor to speak to you. I consider you the quintessential drummer in the world today.
Aww.
I love and respect. I absolutely love and respect everything you have done and continue
Calm down,
to do.
Angelo. He's not going to fit in my car when we leave here. His head won't fit through the door.
Thank you, man.
Just kidding.
I appreciate it.
All right. So basically, I always wanted to ask one great drummer a question about another great drummer, and I'm talking about the one and only Neil Peart. I just have two quick questions, Mike. Yeah, Power Windows is celebrating 40 years this year. It's my favorite album from them of all time. I always wanted to know what your opinion was of that album. And my second quick question is, what album would you say is Neil's best and most complex work?
Okay. Well, I love.
Thank you so much, Mike. It was an honor to
Thank
speak
you,
to
man.
you. Thank you.
I love the Power Windows album. I remember, in fact, when we formed Dream Theater at Berkeley, that was the album that had just come out, and I remember we slept out in front of Berkeley for tickets. I mean, back then, in order to get concert tickets, you'd have to wake up on Saturday morning and go to Ticketmaster or Ticketron or whatever. And, a lot of times we would sleep out the Friday night beforehand. So I remember sleeping out, me and John Petrucci and John Myung sleeping out in front of Berkeley for tickets to the Power Windows tour. And we saw that in Worcester, Mass. when we were at Berkeley. And I believe Marillion was opening. And then I saw them later on that tour, I think with the Steve Morse Band opening. But yeah, I love that album. Peter Collins produced it. And I ended up working with Peter on the first Flying Colors album. And but Big Money, Manhattan Project, the Marathon. I think it's, the keyboard albums aren't my favorites, but that particular one I think was really a great album. And then as far as which album would show Neil's best drumming, or at least for me, my favorite drumming, it would be either Hemispheres or Permanent Waves. To me, that's the sweet spot for me. Permanent Waves, Hemispheres, Farewell to Kings, those group of albums from the late 70s, early 80s. But that was Neil in his prime. I mean, I learned the Permanent Waves albums, inside and out. And that's pretty much how I learned how to play progressive music. And Odd Time Signatures was just studying those early Rush albums. It's huge for me.
Jacob's Ladder, one of my all-time
yeah.
favorites. I mean, Permanent Waves, if I had to pick Probably my favorite Rush album, top to bottom.
Yeah, same.
I mentioned this before. Hugh Syme was on this show, who I know he did a lot of Dream Theater covers as well.
Still does, yeah.
Yeah, and Hugh was nice enough to offer me a print of any album cover.
Oh,
he
wow.
did. And I picked Permanent Waves, and I got it framed. I went and got it professionally framed. It's up on my wall in
That's
Jersey.
amazing.
So that was the one I picked just because I love that record, and the cover's cool as well. Here's James in Phoenix. Go ahead, James.
Eddie, thank you so much for taking my call. Mike, such an honor to talk with you. I've been a Dream Theater fan since '92.
Thank you.
I've been a drummer myself since '84. Had the pleasure of running into you a couple of times. I wanted to ask you about the first time I saw you guys in concert. It was May 23rd, 1998. I remember the day specifically, Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
Caravan of Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Falling Into Infinity. You brought a rack tom out from your kit.
Yeah.
And you came down and you jammed with the fans.
Right.
Man, I have looked forever. I got to jam with you that night. It was one of the best nights of my life.
You were one of the ones I played with.
Forever for video footage of those shows, and I can't find anything anywhere. Is there any chance you have something of that night?
I personally probably do, because I would film and, archive every show. But I think those were before the YouTube days, and nowadays every show is documented it from 10 different, angles on YouTube. But that's great that we got to play together. I used to come out during my drum solo with a drum, and if I would watch the people during the show, and if anybody was air drumming, I would know that they're a drummer. So when it came time to the drum solo, I'd come out and give them a pair of sticks, and we'd play together.
Isn't everybody air drumming though?
Yeah.
In the Dream Theater show?
Yeah.
I air drum and I don't know how to play, so you can't use that criteria. I play air guitar and I can't play a note.
I watch them. They're like human teleprompters for me. I could just watch them to remember what I'm supposed to be playing. Then later, a couple years later, I started, rather than coming out with the tom, I would pull somebody out of the audience to join me at my double kit. And talking about Twisted Sister, I stole something from Twisted when we played the theater at Madison Square Garden. And when I saw Twisted Sister back when I was at Berkeley as well, Dee Snider did a thing where he pulled somebody from the very, very, very back row of the arena. He saw somebody going nuts, and during one of the rants that he would do, pulled the guy from the very back row and brought him into the pit so he could watch the show from the front. And I stole the same gag when we did the theater at Madison Square Garden, where I pulled an air drummer from the very, very back row and brought him up to sit at the kit with me and play double drums on the kit with me at the.
And did the guy actually know how to play?
Yeah.
And see, because that's the thing, I wouldn't know how to play. I would be actually that one. Remember that one?
Yeah,
Bonzo Bash.
You had a cowbell, I think.
No. Tishy put me back behind that kit, and I just hit the drums, and somebody videoed it, and they're like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad." But the only thing I ever took lessons to learn how to play as a kid was drums, but I didn't last long. I had the little drum pad. And I wanted to be Peter Criss and Kiss Alive too. I didn't have the tolerance. I couldn't have the discipline to wait to get to that point. I was too anxious, actually. Yeah. But the most air drumming I've ever seen in an audience was Rush.
Oh yeah, always
Rush. But you guys are a close second.
Yeah, maybe second.
But Rush is like.
But with Neil, you could count on those fills. If you're air drumming, he's gonna play exactly what you're expecting. With me, I'm not that kind of a drummer. I just kind of fly in the edge of my seat from moment to moment. So, like I said, I have to look at the audience half the time to remember what I'm supposed to play.
Can you when you break off of like if you're a musician, like, and you're playing in the case of Dream Theater with 4 other guys, and you do a little freelance thing on the drums, doesn't it mess them all up?
No, I mean, you're still playing the song. The song is the same, the arrangement's the same, but the fills that go from section to section a lot of times are just on the fly. I mean, that's how I do it in the studio even. We'll do a couple different takes, and the fills from section to section will be different each and every time. And it's the same thing live. And that ends
up being the choices of what you're going to take to put on the record, too.
Right, but I'm not the type of drummer that goes back and learns the record exact. I learn the song. I know the song, and I'll play the song, but, what I do within the song, the parts are consistent, but the fills from section to section are usually on the fly from night to night.
John in Pennsylvania. Go ahead, John. You're on with Mike Portnoy.
Oh, great. Thanks for taking my call again, Eddie. As soon as I heard Mike was on today, I was like, I called at 3 o'clock. I'm like, I Need to talk to him.
Oh.
So I got introduced to Dream Theater by a buddy who went to Berkeley. So I've been a fan since '92.
Nice, thank you.
When he used to throw sticks in the stage,
yeah,
I got 3 of them,
wow,
including one of the purple hot sticks
wow,
from the first tour.
Yeah, amazing.
Where
are you located? Where
are you in Pennsylvania? You might be Mike's neighbor.
Yeah,
he'll throw a stick across the
Pennsylvania. We are close. We are close. You live near you live in the same town as my parents.
I'm in Lehigh Valley. Yeah. But
yep.
So did you see us at the Chestnut Cabaret back then? Was it? I'm trying to think.
No, it was Metropole or something.
Oh, yeah,
in
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
college.
Of course. I remember that place.
So I saw you at Radio City for 6 Degrees, saw you the opening of Parasomnia in Philly, went to Radio City to see the last show.
Oh, great. Awesome.
And I'm going to the opener in Reading again, and I got meet and greet this time. So that'll be my 4th meet and greet with you guys. I am so excited.
Awesome. You got to bring the purple hot stick with you.
I'm being a drummer.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I know. Well, I thought I wanted to get it. I wanted you to sign it, but it's like one item. So I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work. So
you sneak it to me on the side. I'll get it.
There you go, John. Thank you, John. Enjoy the show. Sorry. Didn't know. I thought you were done. Sorry. Is it hard it's got to be hard to sign a drumstick.
It is, but
I mean, it's rounded, it's small. It's got to be hard. You know why I think about that? Because you know him through me is my dear friend Mike Piazza, the baseball player who used to always hang with us back in New York, and when Mike was playing, and Mike used to, obviously people come up to Mike with baseballs all the time. And Mike said to me once, he goes, "You ever try to sign a baseball?" I go, "No, why would I?" He goes, "Try it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, he handed me a baseball. I'm like, wow, this is really, because everything's rounded.
Yeah.
You have no way to do it. Drumstick's probably a little easier.
Yeah, it's just straight.
But it's still totally rounded and a smaller surface.
It is. It's not easy, but I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Yeah. Just like Mike got used to doing that with baseballs.
I have a baseball signed by Mike Tyson, which is really weird.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a great boxing collection.
I think there's a boxing glove here in this studio because they do a lot of sports out here. It's signed by somebody. I think there's one right out in the lobby, actually. I got a poster signed by Tyson in my place here. Here's Robin in North Carolina. Hi, Robin.
Hey, Eddie. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Mike, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
Been a dream of mine. I got one question. Who came up with the idea to marry all the girls in Mean Street and then eliminate all the problems?
Well, it wasn't an idea. It just kind of happened naturally. But yeah.
Explain to people who don't know what he's talking about.
3 of us in Dream Theater are married to 3 of my wife and John Petrucci's wife and John Mayung's wife. All were in a band called Mean Streak in the 80s. And
all-female metal band.
Yeah, all-female metal band. I used to see them opening for Anthrax and Overkill and Motorhead, playing all the New York clubs back in the late 80s. And yeah, we all ended up getting married together, and we're still together 30-plus years. And it's been 36 years now, I think.
And they all started playing again a couple years ago, right? They did some shows. Yep. Opening for you guys
for solo band. For John's solo band, yeah exactly.
Yeah. Is that it, Robin?
Well, I was just wondering, how do you, with you and all these other projects and bands and all like that, how did you survive the 38 years together?
That's a good question. We were actually talking about that recently, that, all 5 members of Dream Theater are all still married to the girls that we met 35 years ago or whatever, and all have families and kids. And I guess, there's not many bands where all 5 members are, still with their...
It's unprecedented, especially in the entertainment, especially in the music industry.
I would say we survived because we've always included our wives whenever they wanted. We never separated the band from family. We always welcomed any wives or kids that wanted to go on tour with us or, be a part of us. We never had a thing where it was separate. It was always inclusive, and I think we always respected each other's, personal lives and the value of it. So, it's amazing that we're all still with our wives. And
there's those rare instances. I mentioned Scorpions are going to be here next week. Klaus, the singer in Scorpions, Klaus has been married to the same woman I believe something like 63 years or something like that as the lead singer in a rock band. That is unheard of. Speaking of family, though, we should mention both of your kids are in the arts and entertainment. Your daughter's acting, and your son, who's he playing with now? Who's Max with now?
He was with Code Orange for a while, but those guys are, on a hiatus. So he's pretty much full-time with his band Tala, and believe it or not, he's actually playing bass in his band Tala. He switched the latest album that's coming out next month. He's playing drums and bass on the album. Oh, wow. And live he plays bass with them now. They have a touring drummer. So yeah, he's doing amazing. He's so talented. He's just an incredible musician.
And Melody, your daughter, I just saw recently she was in a horror movie or something that opened
with Ron
Utah.
Keel.
Yeah.
And Scott Rockenfield was at the premiere. He moderated the Q&A. But yeah, Melody's done a few movies now, like horror films and stuff like that. And yeah, they're both doing so good. I'm so proud of both of them.
I can't speak real quick on Rockenfield, who has been like, pretty much off the grid for a while, and you, of course, know him. I know him. I saw that because Scott scores stuff,
right?
And that he did that, and I would have thought there was I heard nothing about it. Like it was like his first public thing. Assuming he did do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows what's going on with him, and I thought maybe that would have kind of gotten him out there, or we would have seen or heard something from him doing that.
I don't even know. I wasn't there, but it was a premiere that they did in Seattle. So
yeah, was it in Seattle? Yeah, maybe
somewhere outside of Seattle.
I thought it was Utah, maybe, but I could be.
No, it was Washington. Yeah.
Here is Don in Rockaway Beach.
Hey, what's up, Ed? What's up, Mike?
Hey, man.
That's a hell of a segue, Eddie. Mike, just real fast. I've been following you since Majesty days.
Oh, wow.
Just a musician in Rockaway Beach, and you're musicians at a young age. You hear about the big guns, et cetera, et cetera. And I've watched all the solo projects, Cygnus, Sea Monsters, Yellow Submarine stuff. Anywho, off the cuff, Mike, I support the arts in my town, Rockaway Beach. We take care of our own here. Music scene, arts, theater.
My daughter has done many shows there. She's part of a Rockaway theater group.
That's why he said hell of a segue, because that's what he's about to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
She is. So most recently, I saw her in Urinetown.
Yeah, exactly.
And I saw her in the Putnam Spelling Bee, where you made a cameo. And we met. We spoke a little bit. It was very cool. But my question was, she's got strong voice. I mean, everybody knows she's an actress. Does she have any plans on putting anything out there, album-wise, or she's a really, really good singer.
Oh, thank you. Well, she doesn't have anything formal, but during COVID and the lockdown and the pandemic, we were able to do a lot of fun stuff together. So there's a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Of her and I doing tracks together. We covered a Jellyfish song together, and she sang background vocals on the Fuzz Bubble album I did during lockdown. And it was one of the fun things that having musicians as kids get to do stuff like that together. It's so much fun. But yeah, that's so cool that you saw those shows. And I think the Rockaway group is about to do a hair, I believe. But yeah, she's done many shows down there, and it's always been a lot of fun.
Thank you for that, Don. Let's few more here. We have about 15 minutes left to go on the show, so we'll squeeze in as many people as we can. Let's go to Jade, who is in Vegas, joining us now with Mike Portnoy on Trunk Nation. What's up, Jade?
Hey, what's up, Mike? How are you?
Hello.
This is Jade from Nicaragua, Central America. Actually, the tiny little lady that you fist bumped outside.
Oh, okay.
Hello. I'm actually calling, taking advantage.
She's calling from right in the hallway. Are you calling from the hallway?
I'm trying for the feedback. Yes, I'm right outside.
We're pumping the audio into the hallway at the wind, so she walked away so it didn't feed back on the speakers. But she's literally outside of our studio.
And I just wanted to properly thank you this time, because I actually met you guys on the meet and greet where you came in Vegas in February 21st. And I couldn't even function the first time that I met you guys. I just literally cried to John's face and I couldn't say shit. So I just wanted to properly thank you for just existing and having this band and coming back to it. I'm a huge fan since like 2005. I was actually introduced by an ex-boyfriend at that time who unfortunately passed, and I am also a trauma survivor. And your music and the way that you guys storytell through your songs and all of the work that you do has inspired me so much.
Well, thank you.
I hope that one day I can just do what you guys do for me, for other people.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. And nice to meet you.
Yeah, Jade, thank you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching through the glass.
Watching us in the fishbowl.
And if you walk a couple more steps, I hear the buffet is fantastic. It's right there. I do hear that's a great buffet. I've never been in there, but I hear it's phenomenal, actually. Let's see. And by the way, just a reminder, Dream Theater's next run of dates in America starts on September 5th. Reading, Pennsylvania is the first date. Santander Performing Arts Center. And this is the Parasomnia album in its entirety, so a whole new show. And you can find all the dates wherever you're listening at dreamtheater.net.
Last show of the leg will be at Nassau Coliseum, which is going to be huge bucket list for us as Long Islanders. I mean, we grew up going to concerts at Nassau Coliseum. I saw everybody from Rush to Ozzy to the Stones to the Who. Everybody. Every concert.
October 25th.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big bucket list for us as well.
That's all. I mean, have you never played there?
No.
That's
massive.
Huge for especially you guys being Long Islanders.
Yeah.
I mean, that is huge. And I think they remodeled it, right?
Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time.
Years.
Yeah, but like I said, when I was a teenager and, I saw every concert there, everybody.
Yeah, being in Jersey, it still is a nightmare to go to Long Island. But so we would have the Meadowlands Arena. That would be our spot. But I did go out there. I went out to Nassau a couple times to see, I saw Maiden on Peace of Mind.
Yeah, I was there too.
With
Fastway
and Coney Hatch.
Coney Hatch, exactly. Yeah, I was there.
I remember making a road trip for that.
First time I saw Rush was at Nassau Coliseum in 82 or 83, I think. I saw Kiss there in 79 with Judas Priest opening.
I saw REO there. I remember I saw Styx there because a friend of mine was willing to drive out there when he got his license, so we did that a couple times. But
in fact, I saw Paul McCartney and the Wings Over America tour in 76. Was there. Yeah.
Amazing.
So much history.
So that's another cool. I mean, as I said to you when I saw you here in Vegas a few months ago when you played, I said to you, we were sitting backstage, I said, I feel it coming. Like to me, the ultimate, you've done Radio City, you're now doing Nassau, the ultimate check bucket list, I would think, would be to do the big room at Madison Square Garden.
Well, we have played there. We, we obviously haven't headlined it, but we did play there with Iron Maiden in 2010. So yeah, I mean, I've already
do it as your show.
I'm happy to have played there with Maiden. Was a major bucket list. Just to play in that place at all was a bucket list moment. There's still things like that. Like we haven't done Royal Albert Hall in London is still one that we'd love to play. We haven't played there.
How big? What's the capacity there?
It's not that big. It's just very prestigious. I think it's about 3,000. I mean, we just did the O2 with 10,000. So, we could do multiple nights at Royal Albert Hall, but it's just so prestigious. It's booked like years in advance. So it's a matter of just the scheduling is hard.
I don't know if you saw this on my Instagram a couple weeks ago, but I was, I went to England to do that Scorpions movie, and I had a day off the next day. And one of the guys from the crew of the movie, we were killing time, and we rented bicycles, and we rode them through Hyde Park. And I had no idea where I was. I was just riding a bicycle, and there's Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Right there. And so I stopped. I took a photo of me in front of it. I was like, wow, I've never been in there either.
Yeah.
But I know people who played it, Bonamassa and all these guys that do it. And I was like, damn, I wonder if something's going on in there. And it was wild because I'm on the bike path or the walking path with the bicycle, and behind me is Royal Albert Hall, and in front of me is Hyde Park, and I'm listening. I'm like, what is that? It's Stevie Wonder was playing.
Oh, wow.
Like
at
that
Hyde Park?
moment.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
wow.
So you hear Stevie Wonder playing Royal Albert Hall behind me. It was really, really cool.
Yeah. That's the one that's still waiting on my bucket list at this point.
Yeah. It's just such an.
And Nassau Coliseum would have been as well, but we'll finally get to check that.
Yeah. That's
out.
Cool. You're getting that in. Here's Austin, this is Austin, who's in Texas. You're not in Austin, Texas. Your name is Austin. Where in Texas are you, Austin?
I'm in East Texas.
All right. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, but hey, Eddie, usually I don't get to I don't get to call in very often because I'm usually working during your live show. I figure replays. Your coverage of the Ozzy thing has been fantastic. Thank you for all that.
Oh, thank you. One of those things you wish you didn't have to do,
Mike,
but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right. But for Mike, like, I know that we're talking about all the nostalgia stuff, but I know you're still tuned in to all of the current artists and stuff. So right now, who do you think is the best artist out there that's new and upcoming?
Well, my taste is pretty weird and eclectic. The band that I'm
that's why I asked you that.
The band I'm loving right now.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's all over the place. I know that you have a very weird taste, so that's why I kind of want to hear your take on that.
My favorite album of the year is from a band called Igor from France. They got IGORRR, 3 R's, and it's really eclectic, like death metal meets like chamber music, and it's really strange. Eddie, you'd probably hate it.
Be right there.
But it's amazing. It's amazing stuff. So I've been on a big kick of theirs lately, and I also love another death metal prog kind of progressive death metal band is this band called Blood Incantation from Colorado, and they got the typical logo that looks like a tree or a bush.
Can't read
you
it.
can't read it, but it's
right.
It's great heavy death metal stuff mixed with like Mellotrons and Pink Floyd kind of influences and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean sometimes the weirder the better for me. And then there's the typical stuff like Sleep Token, which is so hugely
they got
popular
huge,
right now.
man.
Yeah, they're massive.
I mean, it's crazy. Are you a Ghost fan?
I can appreciate what they do, and I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest.
I'm still trying to figure it out too.
I don't know if I get it.
They're playing. I'm in the same boat. I mean, I've had him on a couple times. A smart guy. I'm amazed at what he's accomplished. I really respect it. And thank you, Austin. They're playing here on Saturday. I'm not sure if I can go or not yet. I'm going to see how I'm feeling, but it's amazing, and the production and stuff. I hear they're running with like 20 trucks and everything, and I totally respect it. I'm still like, I saw them live once, but not at this level. So I'd like to go because maybe if you go, you totally get it a little bit more. But Sleep Token, who are still doing the anonymity thing, everybody knows Tobias now, whatever. But people still don't know who those guys are.
No,
and I don't know if I'm wrong on this, but they may have even eclipsed past Ghost in terms of hugeness.
I mean,
they headlined a Download. This year.
Yeah, that's insane. And they have their upcoming U.S. tours, all arenas, and it's all sold out in advance. I mean,
crazy.
Massive.
Yeah. I mean, look, as I say all the time, no matter where you land on these bands and if it's your thing or not, if you're a rock fan, you got to be pulling for them because we need big, new, young bands. Everybody's like, well, when Metallica ends, what's going to happen? We just lost Ozzy. Aerosmith's probably not, like AC/DC's probably done soon. Where do we go? What's the next? I mean, it's going to be the younger bands, the newer bands, whether you like it or not. That's what the future is. Avenged, was at that level. I mean, they've been around a long time. Of course, you played in Avenged. I just texted Matt the other day for his birthday. I mean, those guys have been kind of quiet lately, though.
Yeah.
So
actually, we're doing I think, what is it, Louder Than Life, or one of the big U.S. festivals in September. We're on the same. Actually, we're same day as both Avenged and Sleep Token.
Oh wow!
Yeah, same day.
Here's Edward joining us in Chicago. Go ahead, Edward.
Hey, Eddie, Mike.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Good.
Hey, man.
I wanted to say that I saw Dream Theater back in I believe it was like the early part of '92, and you guys played the song "Pull Me Under" twice.
Are you in Chicago?
And the second time, you guys were filming. Yes,
Chicago.
at the Chicago Avalon.
Oh, Avalon, right. That was the night we filmed the Pull Me Under video. Yeah.
Correct. Yes, and my question was: is that video exclusive to Chicago, or was it a very serious different venues?
No, that was just that one show, and that's why we played it a second time, just to get the footage. But that was our very first music video, and it was sprung on us at the last minute, like, hey, we got to get a video, because it was going crazy at radio, and we weren't planning on doing a music video, but it was doing so well at radio, the label wanted to have something, and it just sent a couple of video people to the show and just filmed it. But yeah, all that footage, which was pretty low budget footage, but it was all from that particular show, that one show.
Got the job done, that's for sure. Here's Drake in New York. Go ahead, Drake.
Hello.
Hey, Drake.
Hello there.
Hey, man, you're on the air. Go ahead. Drake.
Hello.
You're on the air one more time. Can you hear us?
I can.
Go ahead with your question.
I can. I was just wondering if there's any plans to make a movie of the concept album Metropolis Part 2 there, which seems from a memory.
Interesting question, and there has been talk about that. I don't want to prematurely talk about it, but I
think
know
about it a lot, actually, how it would go. I think it would be amazing.
Somebody wrote a full-length novel based on the album that came out, and it's actually it's out and available now. So yeah, it's been expanded into a full-length story. But yeah, I mean, you know, we've always kind of pictured that. The story was you know, it was a big process for us to make that album, and
maybe your daughter could be in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there's a lot of Dream Theater stuff that obviously would lend itself to those visuals and doing a movie, including the newest record. And,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, people have seen the video for Night Terrors. I mean, it's wild, man.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Hey, I have a question. Can I bring it back to Black Sabbath for a minute?
Yeah.
Did you watch the concert?
Yes, most of it. I mean, it was so long. There's probably gaps I missed, but I did.
What were your favorite covers? Do you have any that stuck out, or if any of the listeners calling in even want to mention that?
Well, we're going to be done in like 2 minutes, so we're not going to have time for that. Man,
did you catch like GNR doing Never Say Dive and Junior, what is it, Junior's Eyes?
Yeah, and Metallica did Johnny Blade.
Johnny Blade.
See some of those like really deep, obscure tracks.
I thought those were some of my favorites. I mean, I loved the fact that some of them went really deep. Or Guns N' Roses did "It's All Right," which is wasn't it Bill Ward originally singing that one?
Yep. And look, I love Rival Sons, and they were first or second on. And I thought them doing Electric Funeral was perfect for them, because Scott Holiday has that big fuzzy guitar sound, and that was cool. You know, I talked to a lot of the artists leading into it, and the biggest problem was they would pick a song and hone in on the song, and then somebody else, a bigger band, would take it and get knocked out. Yeah. Charlie told me that. Charlie Benanti, who of course played it with Anthrax and Pantera.
Right.
I had Charlie on like a week or two before for the thing he's doing with Carla, the new band he's doing with his fiance. And he was saying, I asked him on the air, I go, so what are you guys going to play? And he just laughed. He goes, why? He goes, we picked like 3-4 bands. Now we're just told we can't do them.
And they did Electric Funeral, which Rival Sons played. It was the only
song played twice.
And to me, the shocker is that nobody played the song Black Sabbath. I think that's crazy.
Well, Sabbath was supposed to.
It was on their original.
Yes, Tony told me that was supposed.
Yeah, I was shocked that they didn't play that.
If you saw when Sabbath started, it was the sounds of the song
with the bell and the rain and everything. Yeah,
I think they were up against curfew, and they were actually worried about Ozzy getting through another song, because Tony actually was super honest right after the thing, just after the concert and before Tony died. In the interview before, God forbid, before Ozzy died. In the interview Tony did on this show, he said, he was honest. He said, we kind of wished Ozzy didn't do a solo set, and especially directly before us, because it zapped his energy. They were ready to do 6 songs.
Yeah, but I'm so glad he did a solo
4.
set. I mean, hearing him do Mr. Crowley and all those for the last time, I mean...
I think Tony wishes it was more like 4 him, 6 them, because they were, he wanted the disparity to be... Because remember, that whole event was supposed to be about Bill Ward and the original 4 playing.
Yeah.
And that got lost. Anyway, we are totally out of time. Dream Theater's latest album, Parasomnia, is out now. The tour in support of that, where they'll play it in its entirety, again, starts in Reading, PA, September 5th. Go to dreamtheater.net for your information and updates. Thank you, brother. Always fun hanging. Time just blows by when we start doing this. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow live at 3 o'clock Eastern for more of Trunk Nation. Have a good rest of your Wednesday, everybody, and I'll give you a report from seeing Lenny Kravitz tonight as well on tomorrow's show. Talk to you then.
See ya.